So we're here at the Pilgrim's Rest Baptist Church in Phoenix, Arizona. It's Super Bowl weekend, and we had the opportunity today to talk to the Phoenix community, including lots of youth, about what it takes to uplift our youth with our My Brother's Keeper initiative. There was a great panel, including some trailblazers in the Phoenix area, as well as entrepreneurs, politicians, and one actor named Boris Kodjoe. He was incredible. And we talked about how to inspire us as parents, teachers, community leaders, to uplift our youth, to inspire our youth, to give our youth the support that they need, especially young African American boys, to succeed in life. It is a tremendously important effort, a tremendously widespread initiative that allows us to act as the proverbial village that we need to be in order to be accountable and responsible for our children's future. Tremendously honored having been a part of this, and hopefully we can plant a seed that will reach far and accomplish something that we can be proud of.
Boris Kodjoe. How many of you know he was born in Germany? All right. I saw 2 men and 85 women's hands go up. He is married to the actress Nicole Ari Parker. Let's hear it for her as well. This dynamic couple, they have 2 children, Sophie and Nicholas. Sophie was born with spina bifida, and she was the inspiration that led to the couple finding and founding Sophie's Voice in 2008, dedicated to global health and wellness initiatives in multicultural communities, to protecting their lives before they begin. Please help me welcome Boris Kodjoe. Now grab that microphone, and we want to pass that over to Boris.
Good morning.
Morning. Hey, you know, Boris, I know a little German, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I learned some on Facebook.
Nice.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Ja, ich spreche schon Deutsch, aber du nicht so gut, oder? Aber man muss mal abwarten, was daraus wird.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Ja, du sagst immer das Gleiche. Bitte? Nicht schlecht. Okay, 2 Wörter jeder. Ist nicht schlecht. Okay. Gut, jetzt können wir weitermachen.
He'll tell us what that means later. That's the extent of my German with Facebook. Boris, we'd appreciate you tell your story, because when I did some research, and you don't have to mention this, but I know there was an event that you emceed, and at that event, you had reconnected with your father. You know, I'm not asking you to tell that story, but it was interesting. Your father is from Ghana, is that correct?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And your mother from Austria?
My mother's German.
German, okay.
Germany, yeah.
Okay.
My father's from Ghana.
But can you tell your story? And then what I'd like
Sorry,
to do,
the event that you were speaking of.
the Bros and Sis?
Oh, okay.
event?
You were at the event?
No.
Oh, okay.
I saw it on the internet.
I see.
And it was pretty dynamic.
No, because you're saying I reconnected with my father, but quick story. I was hosting the Bro Sis event in New York, which is a great foundation helping young African-American children. And the amazing, legendary Harry Belafonte was there, excuse me, being honored. And so as I was introducing him, I told a story about when I was 3 years old, in my hometown in Germany. Harry Belafonte had visited the town to perform, and he stepped out of his hotel, and I happened to walk by with my mother, and I saw him, And at the time, my father had left us 2 years earlier. So the only sort of memory I had of him was this tall, statuesque black person. So I saw Harry Belafonte. I was 3 years old, and I started running, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy." And he picked me up in his arm. And so we had this moment together when I was 3 years old. So that's the story I told at the event. And then he came up to receive his award. He hugged me and said, "Hey, son, how are you?" Okay. So I didn't reconnect with my father, but from that point on, he was my quasi-father.
Oh, thank you.
But that story about the story is not really the story that I'm supposed to tell here. So now to the real story. I got 1 minute left? Okay.
You got 2, I sold some of it.
Okay, good. So my daughter Sophie was born almost 10 years ago. She was born with spina bifida, which is a neural tube defect. It's a birth defect that is 75% preventable, which is a huge number. Problem is that a lot of women have no idea how to protect themselves, and the key is folic acid, which is a vitamin B that's attainable over the counter anywhere. It protects you and your unborn child. Nicole and I went through torturous times at first. We had no idea what we were dealing with. The fear was put in us by the doctors who told us she was going to die, she wasn't going to walk. We had to educate ourselves about what we were dealing with. I flew all around the world, met all the experts. And then we finally started Sophie's Voice Foundation because we realized that women out there needed to know the facts, the options, in order to deal with this birth defect. So what we're doing with Sophie's Voice is advocating for folic acid fortification, which is adding folic acid to flour, to rice, to make sure when women eat that, they are automatically protected. It's a law that's been implemented in the United States and other countries around the world, but especially in Africa, fortification has been lacking. So what I've done with Nicole is we travel through countries in Africa. We meet with health ministries and governments. We invite media. We invite corporate entities. And we stage a huge event. And what we achieve with that is we make everybody accountable. Because a lot of people make a lot of promises. A lot of governments make a lot of promises. So when they're on Twitter and Instagram and all over the internet, shaking my hand and smiling in the camera and promising to implement these fortification laws, they have to be accountable. Nigeria, Ethiopia, Ghana, South Africa, within 3 months of me being there, they had implemented those laws. So, and when we do these things, after those laws are implemented, 6 months later, the numbers of children affected by spina bifida and other birth defects like that drop by 50%, which is a huge number. So that's what we do. So we raise money and we raise awareness for this birth defect and others, and we try to help as many women and children as we can, and our goal is to eradicate spina bifida within 10 years worldwide. That's my story. That's the real story.
Thank you, Boris.